All right, so there's a lot of different ways to get shortcuts. You can get them from friends, you can get them from the Apple Shortcuts app in the gallery itself, you can get them from websites such as ShareCuts or Routine Hub or whatnot. And I have actually used Routine Hub, and I actually have a shortcut in Routine Hub, which I find very cool. And Routine Hub has an API to allow shortcut authors like myself to do a check for the latest version. So when I create a shortcut, I can put some Routine Hub information like a dictionary at the top that shows the ID, my Routine Hub ID for my shortcut with the current version and everything like that, which is really cool. So whenever I make an update to that shortcut, anybody who has downloaded the shortcut and who is using the shortcut can actually, the next time they run it, they will actually get a notification whether or not I've updated the shortcut. So it does a quick call out API wise to Routine Hub, and it gets the value of the latest version that I've published in Routine Hub. So let's say, for example, you're using version 001 on your local machine, and I've uploaded version 002 onto Routine Hub. When you run my shortcut on your local machine, the little bit of code in the front to check whether or not there's been an update to Routine Hub is there. It tries and says, hey, by the way, there's a new version. Would you like to download it? And then what it does is it says, it takes you to the website where you can download the version off Routine Hub. And there we go. Now, I wanted to see if I could replicate this and how easily I could replicate this, because I thought about it and I thought, well, what if I create a group of routines or shortcuts for friends, family, coworkers, whatnot, or if I'm a small business or something, and I don't want to use a public website like Routine Hub, I want to use my own setup. So what I did was in GitHub, I created a repository and I created just a simple JSON file in there called one, right? So ID number one.json. And I just very simple format, shortcuts, ID, the name, the description, the URL, the download version, the release date, and everything like this. So right now it's version 001. So nothing there to it. All right. But in my shortcut, I also have here a dictionary where I set the ID, which I'm going to go and get, the version of this shortcut right now, and then I get the contents of this JSON file based on the ID, right? I get the dictionary from the content URL. I get the value for version from the dictionary object. Then I want to set a variable per published version. So I want to set a variable for this. The reason for that is because because I'm actually comparing text values and not numbers, it's a little bit easier when you set it as a variable. So here we go. We have a published version as a variable. We'll show that in the text so we can see what's on the website. And then I do a check if the text is not equal to the version. And this is from my first dictionary object here at the top where I have the version here. So when I run this for the first time, I should not have anything other, show up. It shouldn't say version mismatch. It shouldn't do anything. It should just run. Okay. So we'll run it. It shows me that the from the quick look, the version, but that's it. It just does it. And then, of course, what it would do is then run on and do the rest of the shortcut and whatever is in the shortcut. So it's only these couple of actions at the top that we add into the top of each one of the shortcuts that we create that does this little check. All right, so I've updated and I've committed the change. So basically, I've now said I've officially published a new version, right? New download URL would be in there and everything like that. And if we look at the raw version, which is what the shortcut would be reading, we can see here version 0.0.2 is in there. So now if we go over here to our shortcut, and as we haven't changed the shortcut here, the local version that I as the user is using is 0.0.1. So what's going to happen now is when we run this, the quick look should show us 0.0.2, right? And then we should get an alert that says version mismatch. So here we go, 0.0.2, and we have a version mismatch. So basically what this allows me to do is I can create a very simple updating mechanism that I could provide inside my company, inside my organization, inside my team, inside my family, whatever, that I would then be able to create shortcuts and let friends and family know, and that they would automatically prompt them when a new version is available, right? So it would actually prompt them with the URL that's in there, open their browser, it would take them over to the URL, they would go to the URL, they would hit the Git shortcut like any other sharing shortcut, and everything like that. So, but let's take this down a little notch and see exactly how many shortcut actions would be necessary. What would we have to add to the top of every one of these? Now, because I don't want to screw with this one, because this one's just fine, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to duplicate this one so we can play around with it. All right, so we don't need the comment at the top. We don't need the secondary comment. We do need a dictionary object to put in the ID of what file we're going to be looking for in the GitHub repository and of the version of the actual shortcut on the machine. We need to do a get contents from URL, get the dictionary from those contents, get the value for that, set a variable. We don't need that comment there. Set the text to that variable. We don't need the quick look. So there we go. And then instead of the show alert, what we would have to do, all right, so we don't need to have the show alert. What we need to do is get the URL value. So as we did up here, get value for version and shortcuts, we would have to do something similar, right? So under scripting, we would have to go in here and we want to get the value for URL, and we don't need it from the text. We need it from our dictionary, and the dictionary would be for the value of shortcuts, right? So that value then goes into our URL, and we want to set our URL to that value, right? Dictionary value as text, and then of course open our URL. Now, of course, this is going to blow up and not work because I don't actually have a URL value in there, but it would be those simple things. So it feels like that there's a lot of pieces here, but it's because I'm working with a simple JSON file. If you were to redesign this and actually put a little bit of development behind it or coding behind it, you could actually use like a serverless function that would then just grab the value as you needed it, and you wouldn't have to do all of this extra pieces here and there and everything like that. So there we go, invalid URL. Of course it's an invalid URL. And I'm going to, in my GitHub, we're going to edit here in GitHub, edit, and we put in that value. All right, so we're going to commit those changes. All right. Now when I click the raw, it should be updated. I should see the URL value in there. The URL value's in there. So now, here we go. Everything here is done, right? So when I run this now, because this one is 0.002, this is, we're going to actually change this one to 0.001, okay? And when I run this, there we go. It prompts me, do I want to get the shortcut? When I say yes, I want to get the shortcut, it takes me in version 002. You can see it's all of that stuff that we just put in there. So there we go. And then I would add this as a untrusted shortcut, right? So once it was added, I would have version 2 now. And once I have version 2, if I hit go, it doesn't do anything because the version is actually up to date. What it would actually do is then just take me on to everything after the end if, and just let me run run the shortcut, whatever I had the shortcut doing to begin with. So just a few items here. Yes, you could improve this. You could make it better. You could make it simpler. You could use a database in the back end instead of a manually created JSON file or something like this. But if you're working on a project with a team and you want to keep everybody up to date on a couple of different shortcuts or something like that, very simple way to do it, very easy way to do it.